Welcome back to the Independent Republic of Mike Graham right here on Talk TV. We're here with Peter Whittle, founder and director of the new Culture Forum, gazing out across the London skyline. It still doesn't look particularly summery, but wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying it. It's cold. It's cooled down a bit in Europe as well. I mean, the fanaticism of the kind of woke now, from the weather, you know, to brand awareness, to, you know, posters that have to show trans men with mastectomies. I mean, it's an incredibly weird world we now live in, isn't it?
Well, I say it's a weird Western world.
Yes.
Still, I think these things affect the English-speaking West the worst. So America, New Zealand, Australia, and of course us. I mean, it is. I find the latest batch of it, Mike, particularly with Costa Coffee and these cartoons, these merry little cartoons that I think Doc Martens have also used.
Which is sort of sinister in a way.
Yes, I think they're quite sinister, and also just obscene. I find them obscene, and this is glorifying the mutilation of girls, you know, having double mastectomies. I find it just appalling. I think most people do. They can't understand why it is that brands such as these even adopt these kind of
Well, we had a lot of calls yesterday from women who have had mastectomies as a result of suffering from cancer, and they're not very happy about this. And that kind of point of view is not taken into account at all, because, you know, the people who are the activists in these companies seem to think that what I would regard as heterosexual men and women don't have any skin in the game. It's nothing that we can, you know, it doesn't apply to us, basically.
I think people, to an extent, Mike, have got to try and wake up about a lot of this. I mean, what we saw in America, going back there, for Dylan Mulvaney, you know, the trans guy, huge kickback when it came to Bud Light, and they tried to use him on Bud Light. Well,
they've practically ruined that brand altogether, haven't they?
Ruined the brand economically. They went down the pan. People have lost their jobs over it and all of that. But it shows you that kind of action can work. And I would say that really, if people take this seriously, and they should boycott these brands. Right? Boycott.
Yeah, teach them a lesson.
They have more power than they think.
Yes.
People have more power than they think.
They really do. Ben and Jerry's is the same, isn't it? I mean, they've been doing it for ages. They come out with the most ridiculous tweet on Independence Day in America, saying that America should give back, you know, half of its land to the indigenous people. You know, not at all admitting that they actually, you know, are sitting on it with their factories in Vermont, which is actually, are they going to give the land back? Are they going to close their factories down? Well, of course they're not.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is a strange mixture. On the one hand, you have the employees, often quite junior, who believe all this stuff, but then when you go up a few levels, quite often it's a purely a cynical exercise in just showing exclusivity or whatever. But I think that it can work if you respond by not buying the products. I mean, I did this with Gillette, if you remember, quite a few years ago. They appalling anti-men ads that they did, so woke, and I just thought that's it, not going to use them anymore, and I still haven't. And as a result, one brand came up, you know, pretty much out of nowhere and was successful. And I think that people really have got that economic power. They really have.
I mean, I saw an incredible ad the other day, which is for a company I'd never heard of before, and so I'm not even going to give them a plug. It's some lingerie company. And if you saw this poster of a guy with a beard wearing a bra and suspender belt and stockings, and it was a sort of 90-sheet poster somewhere in I don't know, it was Oxford or something like that, and you're kind of going, sorry, who are you selling to exactly here?
Well, it's killed, I mean, it's killed stone dead a whole sort of section of satire and comedy. You know, these would all have been skits at one point. That kind of thing is dead insulting. I know exactly the poster you mean. It's a bearded guy, you know, hairy chest and all the rest of it, in lingerie. And it's for, I think it's something, it says something like, this is, you know, it's great for women, that's all women, or for all women, or something. It's a guy, you know, and don't insult women.
He's not a woman. I know, incredible. Yeah, but I mean, people in Scotland have said this to me, that in the time of Nicola Sturgeon, I don't know whether it's any better or worse now, but when she was in charge, you know, April Fool's stories just didn't get done anymore, because the reality of politics in Scotland was so weird that you couldn't actually convince people of anything else.